probably my biggest learning curve was I didn't know what I didn't know. It's not like I hadn't worked in people industries. It's not like I didn't understand service. It was easy to find the needs of my clients, but I didn't understand the bigger picture of business. That wasn't my background. And I also didn't understand what kind of decisions needed to be made in order to really build what I was doing. I'm a mom first, and so a lot of times my choices were based on what my other needs as a parent were, as a wife, as you wear all these hats, and so those really controlled some of my earlier decisions, which were fine, but I also didn't know then how to bump to the next level when I was not needed as much with my own children. And so those were the pieces where I thought, oh, okay, now I think I'm probably in over my head. And starting officially, it's great to tutor on the side, and you can do that without really being a business. It's great to have a support group and to talk to other moms, but when you decide, okay, I need to be official, it's more than just a logo on my t-shirt, then I needed to bring in major help. My husband was a business owner, but his was so completely different than mine, and I just knew that I needed to start at such a small scale that I looked at SBDC, and I honestly don't know how I found out about it at the first, but I thought, well, it's a development center. There's got to be, at least they can point me in the right direction, and that was, when I thought, okay, I'm actually going to tell somebody that I think I want to do this. You sort of make a goal, and if you keep it to yourself, you don't actually have to follow through. But as soon as you tell somebody, yeah, I'm going to do this, then you're held accountable a little bit. And that was sort of my first step was, okay, I'll just go find out who these SBDC people are. And yeah, that was, that was my beginning strategy. I could never have done what I did without tapping into local resources, and SBDC was huge for me. I think there was a place where I could check in and say, hey, I'm thinking about this, and I was never told, hey, that's a really stupid idea. Usually what I was told was, let's talk that one through. And I'd be like, wow, that's a really stupid idea. and then, we'd talk about, okay, how can we change that to something that is productive or could be, incredible? And just to get other input, other resources. There were opportunities where I got to take a class. There were opportunities where I got a chance to connect with other people in the community. I was brought to different groups like Small Business, Better Business Bureau, and all of those things that maybe I wouldn't have known how to tap into. And every time I checked in, I would say, okay, well, I kind of have questions about this, and we could sort of hone in and focus on how we're going to solve that question. So that was huge. Connecting with other women, asking questions. Wow, your business card is awesome. Where did you get it? But also, how do you handle juggling your life? How do you handle doing this and still being a parent or still being a spouse or a daughter? All of those things that as women, we really do end up wearing a lot of hats. And so even if I want to go, 110% in building my business, I have all of these other really important pieces to me too that I can't just, they're not like laundry that'll sit there until you can, deal with it. So that was huge. For connecting with other women was a big deal. And to this day, our support groups are some of our best sources for connection, not just business connections, but that emotional connection when you're like, wow, I totally understand her perspective, or that changes my perspective, or how can we, collaborate? And I think a lot of times collaboration happens as we connect with each other.